I'm Sam Rupsa.
This is a very special day. The breeze took the clouds all away. It swept the sky like a broom and got ready for a very special day. This is a very special time. Show me a hill I can climb. Give me a mountain to move, and I'll prove that it's a very special day. I woke up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror, and somebody said, wake up, wake up. It's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet, that life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day. I woke up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror and somebody said, wake up, wake up. It's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet that life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day.
And a very special day we do have. It's a wonderful Wednesday. We're moving right into the first day of September. That means my partner in crime, my co-host this morning is Bradley Gilbert. Good morning, Bradley.
Good morning, Becky.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
In the hot seat this morning, and we're so glad to have him in and love when we have, and going to bring some fun with us this morning. We have our principal at the middle school of Salem, Indiana. We have got Kevin Albertson. Salem Middle School is what I'm trying to say. School Corporation. Morning, Kevin.
Good morning, Becky.
Yay, yay. And all your students are, and all, everybody's listening to you right now. Okay, so you got the everybody, because we are out of school right now, so all ears are listening to you, Kevin. So we're going to find out some great things happening at Salem Middle School and starting out the school year. But Brad, let's thank our sponsors.
All right, we've got Walmart, Meadowview, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Kentucky Cat for Recycling, Dr. Blacksize says it's Dr. Mindy Gunn, and Celebrity Home Loans. Thank you, sponsors.
Yay, thank you, our great sponsors. All right, today is the first day of September. Today is American Chess Day. Kevin, can you play chess?
I used to. I used to learn every year in middle elementary school. Used to teach us in 5th grade. I used to play chess.
Oh, that's wonderful. What about you, Brandon?
Yeah, I can. I don't play it a lot, but I can.
I can play a mean game of checkers.
There you go. There you go.
I will see you guys on the checkered board, okay? Not on the chess.
Yeah.
I do think they look really cool, though. I think they look really cool.
Make you look fancy.
They do on a table,
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. Building and Code Staff Appreciation Day. Is your building up to code? Very important. If anybody from the city or the county is listening.
That's true.
Yes.
True.
All right. National Chicken Boys Day. And it shows a rooster. I don't know. Chicken Boys Day. All right. Let's see here. Ginger Cat Appreciation Day for all the reddish color yellow cat.
Ginger cats, yeah. Orange. People think of an orange cat.
Yeah, there we go. Let's see here. This is National Acne Positive Day. Okay. All right, we'll go with that. Ooh, here you go. National Cherry Popover Day. Kevin, you like cherry popovers?
Yes.
Yeah. But you probably.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, National No Rhyme or Reason Day.
Isn't that every day sometimes?
Now, I'm sure at Walmart there's no rhyme or reason. I'm sure at the middle school there's no rhyme or reason. I know here definitely WSLA there's no rhyme or reason.
Yeah, like,
definitely say that. This is National Tofu Day. You like tofu, Brad?
absolutely not.
Oh, what about you?
No.
I'm one that I can say I've tried it different ways. No.
Yeah.
It's just
I know. What is it? It's got
It's
a different
okay.
texture.
It's okay.
It's got a different.
I respect those who like it. That's okay.
I do order it. Okay, I think I'm eating a little healthier when I get it. Pink Cadillac Day.
Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong with that. Toy test day. Oh, I would love to be. Would that not be the ideal
Toy
job?
tester.
To be the toy tester, except for something to blew up. I didn't see
Something
that one
maybe
coming.
had,
Right.
the wires
Do they not
got
have
crossed.
some cool toys now?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
look at all the stuff that flies and and stuff. It's like.
But I think that's kind of bad for it to be National Toy Tester Day and National Chess Day, because those are kind of like, the toys are trying to eliminate chess.
Yeah, true. Yeah, exactly. This is also World Letter Writing Day. Brad, do you ever sit down and write a letter?
I do.
Do you?
Yeah, it's part of a mentee program that we don't just write email, that we write an actual letter and talk about our experience, and we send that to the mentee. So.
I love that. What about you, Kevin? Do you ever just write a letter?
Sometimes, yeah.
Do you?
And sometimes notes to staff, students,
that's true.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I don't think I've written one in a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to do that today.
But
Dear diary.
Exactly. Yeah. But we've talked about that. That excitement when you open up the mailbox and it's like a personal thing written to you instead of pay $29. Whatever.
Exactly. Oh, 100%. Yeah, love that.
Yeah.
Love that. So get out and enjoy. We are on to the first day of September. So I guess, Kevin, how do you feel about, are you going to jump right in with the pumpkin spice? Or are you still holding on to the summer, the pineapple, and the tropical stuff?
I'm still holding on to the summer. I'm not much of a pumpkin guy, so I do like the fall season, but when it comes to that, I'd rather hold on to the summer a little bit.
Yeah, right. I know Brad's holding on.
Holding on to the summer, but even in general, I like the caramel apple stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But I would go right into the peppermint stuff. I'd close the pool down, and the next day we're gonna have peppermint.
No, I want to say yesterday I had a caramel apple, caramel apple latte, and beyond good. Yeah.
Yes,
And the caramel apples, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, I traveled yesterday, and so I was at.
Did you get one of those?
I got it was a caramel apple vanilla iced coffee. It was amazing.
Makes your travel a little bit better, doesn't
Absolutely.
it? Yeah, not so painful.
Yes, not so painful.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, so get out and enjoy it. 'Tis the season. And I know over at Walmart, you guys are clearancing stuff out. Oh my goodness, you had pools for $1 over there.
Yep.
I love that. You could buy 2 or 3 and, you could lay in one pool for a little while, go to the next. Or if you have several dogs,
Yeah.
A lot of people use those for.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're cool. And another fun fact, you can take them. You can tell I have so many kids. You can take them and put balls in them too. And they can do like a play area there too. Sand.
Yeah.
Of course, make sure you don't have cats around.
Right.
Note to self.
And once they if you damage one or something like that, you can bury them into the ground and then fill it with dirt and have yourself, and it'll make an edge for a little flower garden or for kids to learn how to grow stuff, things like that.
Look at that.
They're upcycling, and it's something that they've gotten enjoyment out of, and then they learn something from that.
For $1, you can't beat that. So you guys are really knocking down the summer price level.
And we've got, fall months in, things like
Yeah,
that
I love that
already,
too,
but yeah.
Fall on the outside, summer on the inside.
Yeah, I know.
Well, it's like, one time, this is in middle school, and it was the principal. I had a long sleeve shirt on. You know how the long sleeve shirts, I had a pair of shorts. So she said, you have winter on top, summer on bottom.
Well, we talked about that. See,
we like it.
I always thought, in the fall when you get closer, sweatshirt and then a pair of shorts and you're comfortable or whatever. But I was always one of those that never really. I saw people. I'd go to Florida, see family and stuff, and then you'd see people with the long sleeve, dry fit shirts, and even the ones with hoods on them and stuff. Gosh, that seems hot. We're down here in 95-degree weather. But after getting a pool, it makes sense. It totally makes sense because those are cool. It keeps you from getting more sun, and if you've got too much sun, then you have shorts on.
Right.
And so, I have a good friend of mine that I ride to town every once in a while like that. And they're like, you got a long sleeve shirt on, it's summer. It's just like, well,
Yeah.
Method to the madness.
Method to the madness. And
Yeah.
wait, what was our day again? Hang on. What is it?
No rhyme or reason.
No
day.
No
rhyme
rhyme or reason.
day.
Yeah, there we go.
That's what
There's no
makes
rhyme or reason.
No rhyme or reason.
Thank you, Kevin.
So,
Well,
yeah.
Kevin's on it today. I can. So Kevin, let's jump right in and find out what's going on. Of course, we know right now we are on virtual, and how's that going for the middle school and everything?
Well, as anytime you go virtual, it's challenging because
Yeah.
you obviously want our students in class. But talking with my teacher stuff, things are going probably better than they have in the past year and a half or so. But there's still some challenges with communication, making sure that students are getting able to reach their work. Internet access in our county sometimes is still shaky at times. But all in all, I think this time has probably been better than some of the others. But hopefully it's a shorter-lived time that we know of, and we'll get back in person and we're ready to go next week.
Yay! Yeah, definitely. And this was something that we needed a little bit of everybody kind of getting away from each other, getting themselves together, and then hopefully then come back strong on the 7th of September and everybody ready, and then pray that we're one and done, right? On that.
Yes.
Wouldn't that
Yes.
be such a blessing for sure?
Yes.
So I do want to make some announcements though, because there's going to be, for anybody that wants to be vaccinated, they are having a special vaccination on Friday, right? And that is actually at the elementary school. And of course, before anybody says anything, school is out. So it will not be, there will not be any children or students there, what I'm saying, for school. So it will be anyone wanting to get the COVID vaccination. Life Springs will be having a vaccination clinic this Friday from 1 to 4 in the parking lot at the Brady Schramm Elementary School. And there will be Pfizer vaccinations available. Also want to say Walmart's still kicking it over here. You guys are still rock stars
Yes.
doing that. And we know now that like Pfizer and some of them have been FDA approved, or maybe people have realized that they do want them, maybe that were a little hesitant at the beginning,
Right.
have felt a little more safe now that they have that option. So that's wonderful options for people. And I think that was something our school system, either way, however you feel, but just making it accessible for those that might want to get the vaccination that just don't have the means of doing it. Here's an option you have. So
Right. Right, absolutely. And they're free, and you don't have to have an appointment. Things
Exactly.
Like that. So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's something
And thankfully, according to some of the numbers that I saw, vaccinations in our area are up, and so we're so that's a good thing.
definitely keep everyone.
Regardless of how you feel about that,
Right.
just knowing that there's options out there that you can make that decision for yourself. But there's been availability of more vaccinations, so if that's what you choose to do, that's good.
Right. Also, the Reds game last night with the St. Louis Cardinals were rained out, so they'll have two separate broadcasts today. So that'll be lovely.
There you go.
You can see I'll have to be on my toes today. But then tune in tonight for McCoach's Night, the Jeff Brom show at 6:05, followed by WSLM's Coach's Corner, and then the first episode of the Tom Allen Show. High school football this Friday night, Salem and West Washington are both out due to COVID concerns, but Eastern will be set to play Brownstown. That's going to be a game, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm anxious for that game. I'm excited about that. Purdue hosts Oregon State. IU travels to Iowa State, and we're going to be actually sending some Purdue fans up to the Purdue game.
Nice.
And so that's going to be fun. We got Purdue, we got IU football tickets, and we got Colts tickets. So I'm excited about that for anybody that feels like they want to go to a game. Just go to my Facebook. I haven't closed it yet for the Colts tickets this weekend. The Seattle Seahawks will play at Indianapolis this Sunday. That'll be the game you'll go to. And racing moves to Darlington this weekend, and which I've been to Darlington, and it is it is a lot of fun for sure. You talk about get your racing on.
Yes. Yes, that's a good way to put it.
Yep.
Get the
Yeah,
racing on, yes.
use your words correctly. Yeah, it is a lot of fun for sure. Okay, we're going back. Sorry, I just want to get my announcements in there. But Kevin, let's talk about, first of all, how long have you been the principal at the middle school?
This is my second year.
And let's tell what you did prior to.
I originally started as a teacher back in around 98, 99 area as a middle school social studies / health teacher. Then I moved into the elementary school as a counselor for about 13 years. I had that brief stint as the assistant principal at the high school, and now principal at the middle school.
Right. And what a great building block that has been, though, because like to be starting with the teachers, and then going into the counseling, and now the principal, because the principal does so many things. I mean, there's so many diversity. I mean, each day something new and something different, I'm sure.
Yes, kind of like the no rhyme reason day. It fits right in with that because every day is different. You never know what you're going to encounter.
Right.
Obviously, in person makes it so much more fun just because you have so much better interaction with that. I say up through my experiences, I've had some really good mentors as I worked up through, because I've always been at Salem through my whole teaching career, and I've really worked with some wonderful people that's helped influence me and helped me along my way at this point.
And that's what makes a good leader is like picking up different, I guess, secrets or different codes or different ways of doing things from others that you have, that you've been, that have taught you before, that have come before you, and picking up that and making your own self unique.
Right. And then also, like giving them credit. So that's very good that, he gave credit to the folks to help teach you, guide you along the way sometimes. So that's good.
Well, and we all three are alumni, and we all three love the middle school. The middle school is a fun thing, and do you love being the principal? I mean, you've got a lot. I mean, you've got a pool. I mean, there's a lot to keep up with. And then middle school is that age too, where they're trying to, let's go to the locker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From 5th grade to 6th grade, whenever that locker comes in, you have that. You have so many different things going on in middle school as far as emotions, trying to figure yourself
trying not
out.
to be a little kid anymore.
And but then you're not ready for high school yet. You're in that in between.
Just a lot going on.
Yes.
I say this year you'd laugh. The lockers have been an issue because we didn't use lockers last year. So typically we had one grade level coming in that struggled to don't use lockers. Well, this year we had 2. So you had double the kids that kind of struggled or intimidated by a locker. Once they figure it out, it's not too bad. But just the right, left, right kind of thing gets them going a little bit. And for the new students, the pool is always a little bit intimidating.
Yeah.
Just the whole locker room and some of those new things that go into that. But the kids are really resilient. They kind of figure it out pretty quickly once they kind of get in that routine. And that's the biggest thing about trying to keep us all in school is developing that routine, getting them in a good pattern, and some of that immaturity or timidness kind of wears itself out pretty quickly when we're in a good routine.
Right. Well said. Yeah, because I remember, there, that middle school was really fun. I remember a lot of growing. It seems like that's like not saying that elementary or not, but that when you go in from that first building, the big.
You normally look a lot different from when you start 6th grade to when you leave 8th grade.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep,
yeah,
very
it's
much.
Huge growing time. Yeah. And it seems like our teachers, we've got the middle school rocks, and I'm sure you're very proud of your building. You've got some really of the best there.
Yes, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
And like I said, during this virtual time, they're working really hard of trying to, give still important stuff, valuable lessons, trying to avoid the busy work type stuff, but still trying to push the kids in the right direction for when they come back, and where they can just keep on going. Because so often right now we tend to have to back up because we've been out. Then we try to go forward, go back. This year we're trying to take a different approach. Is just keep going forward, not try to back up now. Because if the kids are with us and then we back up, then it kind of takes them out of the routine again. So we're just going to kind of keep moving forward the best that we can at this point, and keep kind of setting those high expectations this year, and not trying to lower back due to COVID or due to this, but trying to just keep pushing them in the right direction.
Right. And I think too, you're also not only are you a principal of the middle school, but you also are a dad and a husband. I mean, has that helped too, like watching your children and see what on how they feel too? I mean, has that helped you too, making some of your decisions and thoughts, your thought pattern? I'm sure.
Yeah, because I still have a middle school student and also a high school student. Total polar opposites on how things go with e-learning. One of them is on top of it, probably has all their stuff done by now. The other one, it's a struggle every day to make sure they get it done.
10 o'clock at night. It's like, no, I still got time.
Till midnight, till that midnight hour. That would be me.
11:59 is not even close, right?
Well, and I have a daughter that's a sophomore at Bellman this year, and watching some of the things the colleges have done with the whole thing is also kind of plays a part of what we can do, not do kind of thing, and try to make it as accommodating to the parents as we can, as well as the students.
Exactly. And I just think that's important to show that you're a dad too. I mean, you're going through this too. You know, it's not easy, and therefore, you know, but it is it is so much a blessing that we do have what we have. I mean, you go back years ago when we didn't have this and we'd have been going through this. This would have been really, I can't even know how this would have been played out.
Yeah, I was thinking when I was in school, probably when we were all in school,
Yeah.
we would just miss these days. We would never make them up because you had snow days, you didn't make them up.
Yeah.
But now, if we missed them and didn't have Chromebooks or the technology aspect of it, we'd be making all these days up sometime, probably in June at this point. So there's some definite benefits to the technology. There's always some, there's always some hiccups along the way with technology, as we all know. But it's still, better than what we would have been 10, 15 years ago at this point, going pretty much all summer because we keep having to make up days.
Yeah, and I do want to say right now, and I know, Kevin, you really stress this, if anybody's having a hiccup or having any kind of a trouble, call.
Yes.
I mean, good communication. That's so important.
Yeah.
And in the relationship between the parents and the teachers, and it's so valuable. Just in making sure if you're having any trouble, don't try to just say, "Oh, I can't do it." I mean, it can be done. You just got to work together, and what great teachers we do have to help with.
Yeah, and call into the school, email the teachers. Yeah. They're available pretty much 24/7 for the most part. Most of them get back to you really quickly.
Yeah, they do. They're very good at that for sure. All right, so let's go back then on the middle school too. We got some big. You're going to be doing some growing.
Yeah.
Let's tell everyone this is so exciting.
Really excited about the safe room getting started.
Yeah.
We kind of hope they'd already be started at the middle school, but I think they ran into a lot of rock at the high school when they started. The high school's taken a little bit longer to get prepped up and ready to go. But if people's been by the middle school, you notice most of our front parking lot is now fenced in, and they're kind of prepped up to it. Luckily, we don't have as much digging and prep work to go as we go through. So really looking forward to getting the STEAM room completed. We have a STEAM director in place now that's at the middle school that's been doing some planning, prepping. Actually, I think she's on her way to Indy today to do some observation at a school. So, we're really looking forward to bringing some things into the students that we've not been able to offer in the past that will hopefully, really spark some interest and for the community too. And in lieu of being a storm shelter, which would really safe for our kids if, something does happen.
Absolutely. And for those listeners maybe that do not know about STEAM, or explain a little bit about that.
Well, STEAM is more of the technology and arts and math and science and all that stuff that kind of goes in together. And, we're looking at hopefully having some robotic stuff in there, some fine arts type stuff, and, kind of bringing all the curriculums together in one place to give the kids a hands-on type experience.
And
exposure to a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Sometimes you think about some kids, the arts are more up their alley, and some the science piece or the math piece of it. So it's interesting to see how all that intertwines and gets exposure. We talk a lot, Becky and I do, and about kids, especially at middle school, probably are not sure 100% what they want to do, and there are some that know right away, but try everything, get exposed to everything. And so that also, lets them see, hey, I may not be good at this, but I'm good at this. And so, and it may spark an interest in something that they never thought they'd be interested in with that stuff. So I think that's awesome. That is awesome.
Right. And I think too, it's a confidence builder, because once they have seen that they can master this or do this or, and this is actually just adding anytime you can add more to your plate, the buffet.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? I mean, the more you can add to a child and see if this is, like Brad said, something good that they enjoy or something. And sometimes it just takes that little bit of a to step out. And a lot of times we don't step out because we might be afraid of failure, And this is something I cannot wait. I think it's going to be awesome. And what a great opportunity. And this is a new concept for our area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I said, I mean, there's only a couple similar to what we're trying to create, or one's in Indy and one's in Eminence, Kentucky. So that's kind of what we're using to kind of help base our plan around. So like I said, it's really pretty exciting. And I'm hoping, that the community gets excited once they start seeing it and, getting up and, able to maybe come visit it, that kind of stuff to really, spark interest. Because like you said, a lot of people don't quite understand what we're doing. A lot of people think it's a room.
Yeah.
We're building a room at this point.
Yeah.
And hopefully once we get it up and going, everybody will kind of see the excitement behind it and the opportunity that our students will have. And, we'll be bringing some elementary school kids over during the time frame too. So, hopefully it'll end up being more of a K-8 type experience, throughout the school year. So we'll be able to, help with a lot of students or expose a lot of students to a lot of new things at an earlier age up through.
Oh, that's wonderful. So that everybody can utilize it. That's wonderful. And of course, at that age too, younger ones too, they'll be so excited about that. And coming over and getting to see and getting to be a part. Yeah. Well, I think it'll be a lot of a learning experience actually for the adults too, don't you? Because I'm sure these children, their minds are going to be so creative and the things that they come up with. I mean, it's going to be fun to watch that.
Yeah. And I think one thing we'll have to do as we go through is we'll always need a lot of supplies and stuff. So I'm sure we're going to be asking for help locating things. I mean, some things simple as cardboard boxes. Because you can do some immaculate projects with cardboard and some things. So we're probably going to have to be reaching out to the community for support and help on securing some resources that we may not be able to get just readily available to help build our program.
Yeah, and cardboard boxes are something that we can all contribute. Yeah,
I have a few of those.
I do too.
I know a place.
I have some too, and things that come in the mail.
Yeah.
But and I know you do too. Don't you?
Yeah. No, I that's true. That's true. I was going to gloss over that, but thank you for pointing that out. I appreciate it.
That's what I'm here for, Brad. But
friends
anyway,
are for.
that's exactly right. Well, I know, but these are things that it's going to be awesome. It's going to be cool to see what you can do with that, and it's also teaching the recycling, using items instead of just either doing something with them, getting rid of them, and throwing them away, utilizing this, and that's going to be I love the creativeness of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people in the community that we, maybe will come in and help our kids with some things. Because we have some very creative people out in our community that do some wonderful things, from painting to sculpture to, maybe coding and all these things that, hopefully we can bring them in. And, and I think eventually a goal is we'd like to run some type of science camp in the summer for some kids and do some things with it, do some, outside of school activities with it also, not just, the everyday grind at school. So, we have some big plans for it. How fast we'll be able to get those things up and going, we don't know yet at this point, but, we do have some big plans for the building itself.
Oh, I guess it's just, it's just so exciting. And I love what's coming up in the future and what's going to be even bigger and better for our students and giving them the opportunity that, to have this. And this is something that will really, be advancing for them. I mean, this is like when they get ready for high school, they're going to be really, ready for, this is just keeping on and making them, I guess, keep at it, right? This is exciting.
And, and the good news is it'll be something that all teachers, all subject areas.
You got me when you said science because I'm thinking, Brad and I, don't let us be around a Bunsen burner, okay? Or I have a story to tell. Yeah, that's exactly right. Or do you remember the water hose? Like, do you remember our labs and the hose that? Anyway, yeah. If you turn the water full blast, the hose will dance. And yes, just saying things. Note to self. Yeah.
That's a disclaimer.
Yeah. Things that might have happened. Okay. Anyway,
may or may not.
May not have happened. Going out being sit out in the hall because it might have happened. So I don't know on the signs if you want to call Brad or I. You might want to. Yeah. Because
you may hear, but it wasn't my fault.
Yeah. I had no rhyme or reason for that. Yeah. I can't be responsible for the water pressure. I just pull it out.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Anyway. That's funny. But okay, Kevin, anyway, going back on the middle school, I think it's great. And so we're going to start actually where it is starting our construction and everything for the high school and the middle school is going on. We will have an official groundbreaking this month. And just to, kind of make sure that we do it right and have the groundbreaking, inviting the community to come for that. And I hope they do. And of course, there'll be more talk about the things that it'll offer, which we're excited about for sure. So definitely a fun time and a good time. And I think it's a good stay positive right now. You know, we're seeing a lot of negatives. We see a lot of things going on that families are hurting, which we love in our community. And when one family hurts in our community, we all hurt. But it's good to see that. Let's go onward, ho. Let's keep going and let's keep pressing on. And for the new days ahead.
Right.
And I'm sure that's something that's very important to you in your building.
Yes. Yeah. Trying to just keep, taking every day as a day and kind of keep moving forward the best that we can and, tackle every challenge that we can tackle. And I said, I will say again, you talk about how great my teachers are. They're very resilient. They just keep, doing their thing. And, no matter what I kind of throw at them or what gets thrown at them, they just keep plugging away and, doing the best they can for the kids and, trying to make sure they're giving them the best education they possibly can.
Right. Now, when we come back on the 7th, we are talking about having masks, but how has some of the things that the middle school has adjusted to? I mean, like the cafeteria, have you had to do things a little different or have you had to make any?
We started the year out a little bit more traditional, but we still had assigned seating, that kind of stuff. With this last kind of setback is we're looking at realigning our cafeteria a little bit. We're trying to avoid, last year we had 2 cafeterias, and we're trying to avoid that because we want the kids to have somewhat of a normalcy where they can talk, communicate. So we're looking at rearranging our cafeteria now, maybe adding some plexiglass, kind of like what we have in the studio here, that they can still sit across from each other, still talk, still have, some of the normal communication that you have because, lunch is one of the times that kids have for kind of their relaxed time because otherwise you're in class, you don't get a lot of that. So we still want to kind of create that. So we're reconfiguring that. We may have a little bit of an overflow area in what used to be the fax room for a few kids just to kind of make sure our numbers there. But we're trying to eliminate separating them into 2 different locations if we can. And we'll continue with this assigned seating, that kind of stuff. Lockers, we brought back lockers this year that we didn't have last year. We have them going to lockers in the morning, before lunch, after lunch, and then at the end of the day. So we kind of limit to 3 times to go that just to kind of keep the crowding down. And the students have been doing a pretty good job with that at the point. We're still letting them carry their backpacks so they can kind of have their morning stuff, switch out at lunch, have their afternoon stuff so the backpacks aren't quite as heavy as they were last year because some of them were very heavy. And we have some very pack-ratty type kids that carry everything in their backpack. So those are some things that we
don't judge here.
No.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
So those are some things that we kind of kept in place at this point. Last year we did have one-way hallways, but that was kind of tedious by the time because if you're going from, your classroom's really 10 feet away and you had to walk all the way around to get to it. So we kind of went back just to normal hallway type stuff, which has actually probably kept people out of the hallway more than it did when we were going one way.
Right.
But that's some of the things that we kind of kept in place from last year and added a few things, but, feel pretty good about the safety protocols that we're following with that. And my teachers do a wonderful job of cleaning in between class periods and room. My custodial staff is outstanding. My custodial staff is
heroes, right?
Yeah.
They are.
They do a wonderful job. I mean, Ken Payne and his crew, I come up with these wild ideas and they seem to put them in place pretty quickly. And, they're great to communicate and talk. Yeah, I think that'll work. No, I don't think that'll work. We could look at this. You just don't know how much work they really do during the day, especially this time that we're off. Make sure everything's sanitized and, cleaned and re-cleaned. And, they just never end. And they just never quit. I mean, they just go all the time.
Well, that's true. And not to mention then, and we have to give a huge respect, they're not only doing the inside, they're doing the outside too.
Yes.
And look at that. I mean, that building is absolutely gorgeous around there. All the, the from the grass to the shrubs, everything is just, it looks so nice.
Yeah, and they were out in between rain yesterday, remulching some areas yesterday because it was cool enough to get outside to do it in a good manner.
Yeah. And saw that beautiful double rainbow. Isn't that gorgeous last night? Yeah, that was beautiful. But going back on the middle school and all that, it has been. But it was. It worked, but it was a lot of extra work from everybody, and just like from the teachers to custodians to the lunch ladies, because doing 2 cafeterias or doing 2 areas, that's quite a bit to get food to, also to clean up. That's a lot.
Yeah, it took a lot of extra staffing to put in.
Yeah.
I said, I guess, we have more students in the building this year because more people were ready to come back in person, which is great. But,
right.
That also creates the other, we don't have maybe as free staff, some of the things that we had last year, flexibility we had last year, we don't have this year due to our class sizes being, in-person class sizes being up a little higher. which is what we want, of course.
Right,
But it does create some other flexibility problems that we may have had last year that we don't have this year. But like I said, I think all in all, we're doing okay at this point.
Yeah.
And I think at some point, especially with the students, you got to think about, which I know people are like, oh, I like missing school or whatever, but at some point there does become a little bit of the COVID fatigue, and you got to fight that you like kind of let your guard down and things like that. And especially with kids, it's like, so you've got like the double-edged sword there with more kids coming back in person and larger classes, but then you want them back, but yet there's that, we gotta stay focused, and sometimes junior high kids are like herding cats, as you obviously know. But.
Well, at the beginning of this year, we've had a pretty good start. The kids seem really excited about being back, being around their friends, just getting to do some of the extracurricular activities that they maybe missed out on. So really, our kids have done a wonderful job at the beginning of the year too, just trying to get them back in routine. I think, like I said, I think most of them really enjoy being back in person at this point and want to stay there as long as we can.
And I think sometimes our kids are more resilient than us as adults.
Yeah. I think they're willing to work or do what they need to do in order to keep safe and also but keep in person. Yeah. And I think that's, and we know that's the best way to learn. And so it's exciting that we can get back and hopefully keep everybody safe. And we had a school board meeting Monday night and met with a lot of the teacher heads too, and it was a wonderful meeting in order to collaborate and try to get thoughts for everybody. But that was something that we talked about a lot of extra for everybody at this time. Doing the virtual plus the in person plus the cleaning. I mean, which hat are you wearing? At this time, and so we have to give a shout out and a clapping and snaps to everybody involved, because there are so many people involved in that in keeping the school going. And I'm sure that you feel that way too, Kevin.
My staff's there all throughout the day. Some of them come back in the evenings and do things. A lot of things that people don't necessarily see in the community. How much time they do put into some things, and different time frames. And a lot of our teachers have kids that are in the same situation too, trying to do the virtual stuff too, and trying to make sure they're helping them and giving them some time as a parent to go through that. So there is a lot of time that people probably don't see that we put into things. And but yeah, like I said, my staff works really hard. I mean, I really appreciate them. They make being a principal a lot of times easier than probably what it can be, because they're so willing to try do things and step up and ask questions and really try to service the kids and parents the best they can.
Right. And I think just they're rock stars as far as and then the kids, like Brad said, they absolutely, they're ready to do what they need to do, and unless it's kind of a different, you never thought you'd miss school, but then when you're out for a while, you're like, oh, I want to, I can't wait to see my friends and be back, which is important, and especially with their growth and their mental and just hanging out and all the, seeing everybody and coming together. So we just hope this is a new day.
Yes. Yep.
Start fresh. So everybody, we just need to keep doing our part as a community too. Washing our hands, staying safe. If you're sick, stay home. If you're, mask up. And that's something that they were all like, if that's what takes us and gets us back. Of course, we know too that that'll help. With the quarantine, which we have a lot of that trouble too. That just when you have to do that, the rules and the guidelines you have to follow. So that can be kind of tricky too on that. But anyway, hopefully we'll get back and get going on this. But anyway, other than that, as a middle school principal, what's some other things that you'd like to see? You got any visions coming up in the future? Or are you just kind of just taking it one day at a time with all of this other?
Well, I say with the safe room project coming on, that's going to take a lot of planning, a lot of thought process. We're always looking for creative, innovative ideas to do some things for our kids to, again, help build them for the future. Because a lot of our kids may be in jobs that we aren't even in existence right now that come up between, by the time they get to college, or, they choose to go into a trade that, aren't there. So we want to try to give them all the skills that we can for them to be successful community people when they get older. And so, we're always looking for, I guess, new tricks, or maybe bringing back some old tricks, to just help educate our students to the fullest that we can to make them productive citizens in several years.
We talk about that all the time. because this is our future, guys. You know.
Yes.
And,
Future's so bright, I gotta wear shades.
gotta wear shades. I saw something the other day that said I'm on to those kids because they're trying to they're going to replace us one day or something. It was real funny. It was like and they are going to, and this is what we want. You know, we want wonderful, citizens and wonderful people, and I think they've got that, and I think they are. You know, and I think they're just to give them the opportunity that anything that they can come up with. There's your opportunity. You've got so many different diversity, things that they can, surely, to find their niche or what they like and their growth on that. But let's go back to, and maybe some questions. Let's get some people wondering, what about, we had a flood a few years ago with the middle school, and it was really we had a flood in our community, which was bad, but it flooded the basement of the middle school. So what is that? Is that just kind of there now? What happened, I guess, with the basement?
Well, the basement is not used for student purposes now. It's more of a storage area, we hold some like meetings down there, some conferences or some workshop type things, but it's more of a storage area now.
Which turned out good. That's a blessing for storage, because it's like, what do you do with storage, right? So that worked out good. But I know that there were some classrooms down there before the flooding, right? So,
yeah, we had a technology classroom down there. Then we lost a lot of nice technology and a lot of, I call it kind of like he had some robotic stuff, some lots of hands-on things that kind of went around, and some of that stuff is very hard to replace or it takes that, or have the space to replace some of that. So Mr. Burton's room was the one that was down there, and he had to kind of redesign his curriculum for the 7th grade technology class that he teaches.
Yeah, I wondered because during the flooding, all I remember seeing is mud in that. It was just packed mud, just come up, So that was I just wondered, and somebody had asked me the other day, and I thought it was used more for storage, so that works out good then. Yeah. And what a blessing that we'll have this new part that will be above ground level. You know what I mean? I don't have to worry about.
Well, and I figure with all the work they're doing on Shelby Street and stuff, that may help the water coming down through there, because it can be a little river coming down from Shelby Street down towards the building. Granted, it may be a once in a lifetime thing that we ever see, because I've never seen it kind of get that high ever before. But I figure with all the road modifications and stuff up there, that will also help the flow of the water and stuff down through there.
Yeah, it should.
And for anybody that does not know, right there by the hospital on Shelby Street, and actually also the high school, the mayor is putting a new draining system and also a new kind of a walking area there, and so it should be really nice. But they did come into some, again, hard rock, so there was some difficulty there. So it got a little bit of a, when you come up on that, when you're building or adding on or whatever you're doing, or reconstruction. I'm not a construction worker. Don't even play one on TV, but I know that the degree of difficulty can happen when you come up on rock, and we have a lot of that. Playing hard rock here on WSLM.
Just here all day.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so that should make a difference, and that should help out. So that's going to be exciting for sure. So a lot of great things going on, Kevin, and and what do you do? What do you do for fun when you're not doing principal, dad, or a husband? What do you like to do?
Well, I used to like to play golf. I haven't done that much.
Okay.
Now I feel like more I enjoy taking my kids to their sporting events and just watching, and and I just enjoy going to sporting events in general. If it's a baseball game, football game, that's kind of probably my more relaxing thing. Is just to get out and enjoy going to. I'm a sports guy, so I enjoy the sports stuff.
Yeah. Well, I wonder, because I thought you'd say tennis. I thought you like to play tennis.
I do like to play tennis too.
Tennis and golf and all that, yeah. You kind of, when you become a parent and you kind of like that stuff goes on the back burner, things like that, your interest kind of turns different to your children and their activity.
Yeah,
that's true.
Look at Brad's like, yeah, tell me about it. But, well, it's exciting time, Salem Middle School, and we appreciate for Education Wednesday, all the things, and it's exciting to see what's going to happen. Do we have a time frame on the new portion of the middle school, or kind of a
I think
guesstimated time?
The original plan was once you get started is 18 months, but I think we'll probably have to get an extension due to some lack of being able to get building materials in. So I'd say within a 24-month period, we'll have it up and running.
And that's been a big degree of difficulty. Anybody trying to get building materials, and that's been a lot for sure. But it's exciting time, and we can't wait. And of course, anybody driving by, you'll start seeing it, and and that's, can't wait for it to be done.
Yep.
And it'll be over at the high school and the middle school. And I think it's such a blessing that we have got we'll have safe rooms for all 3 buildings.
Yes. Yep.
And that was something that, was very important, because how do you have one for one building and not the other 2? So that's a huge blessing for sure. All right. Well, Kevin Albertson, keep up the great work at the Salem Middle School. And before too long, we'll be back in school, and everybody will be hopefully getting back a little bit to somewhat normal, if you will.
Yes. Yep.
Exciting. Brad, and over at Walmart, you guys,
we're going crazy.
I know.
Seasons, right?
Yeah.
So you can still get summer clearance stuff. You can get fall stuff. You can get Halloween is coming in.
I know.
And those caramel corn.
I know.
Caramel popcorn balls that are,
yes.
like really, really good. But,
yes.
The shapes, and we talk about this all the time. I'm not advocating anything, but you gotta, if there's like the bats or whatever the shape is in the Reese's, you need to try those. The ratio is amazing. So
yeah.
And I did have a 15-year-old that is very near and dear to me, has come up with, if you're out of graham crackers, you take the Reese's Thins, the Thins that are unwrapped, that are in the bags instead of, individual whatever. And you go ahead and make your marshmallow and use those as the crackers, as the sandwich for that. If you're in a pinch, pretty good.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yeah.
So, but it's good to see all that different stuff coming in. And now's the time to go ahead and start getting that, so you don't have to be hit with all of that all at once,
Yeah.
But if you're like me and Becky, you probably need to wait till the last minute.
Yeah, because
wait a minute, I had a bunch of this stuff. Or you go, oh, wait. Yeah. Or it disappears. Like,
I don't know where it goes.
You hide it somewhere,
yeah.
And it's like, how did you find that?
No, they do.
So,
It's found. It is definitely. And pumpkin rolls are back by popular demand.
Absolutely.
Those are just so good. And then, of course, it was so funny last year because I seen a mom, and I won't name her name, but she was just so frustrated. She goes, I've been here so many times and bought candy, and she goes, we keep eating it. You know what I mean? She said, and she was back getting more bags of candy because she said, once it's there,
Yes. So,
and once the bag gets open, it's fair game.
But the fall decor is coming in and things like that.
From the leaves to the pumpkins and all.
And we got great deals on pool supplies because, we probably in this area got another 4 or 5 weeks of swim time, or you're going to be closing your pool.
Yeah. It's a sad day for Brad.
Yeah, sad day.
I hope it's not on a Wednesday. I hope it's not a day that he comes in, because he'll be so, whoa. I just closed the pool today.
I'll be like that. But anything that and with football kicking off and all kinds of even high school sports, when we can get everybody back to normal on that, everything you need for tailgating or parties, things like that. So absolutely.
And that's something that a lot of people are doing now that maybe are not going, if they're not going to the game or or not, do not feel comfortable, whatever. We have it on the radio, and they're doing the bonfires at home.
Yep.
And they're doing the parties at home with their own little pods there. And I've heard some say that they turn off the lights, and they just have the radio going, and they kind of make it like they visual the football game. And I've heard some say they take it outside and have it on the speakers, and while they're roasting hot dogs or marshmallows or whatever. So I mean, there's different ways to be creative, or and it's family fun. That's that's what I love to do, and I always try to do that with the girls, or used to more so when everybody was home. But
then Labor Day's this weekend.
I know.
Labor Day is next Monday, so that's a big time for us, and we have everything that you need for that, because that's what a lot of people kind of think of as the official end of summer, even though it's not. But that's what there's still a lot of warm weather left. But that's something that we got all kinds of deals, and with our deli over there, they can make things to where you don't have to do much hard work at all, and
take good care.
and get the pumpkin rolls and slice those up, and people think you went all out. So
Yeah, you have no idea.
Absolutely. So
Yeah, and my family, they love it. Yeah, so it works out
yes.
really well. And also, you can spend more time enjoying the family and not doing so much time in the kitchen,
Yeah.
And
So if you're, and this is an interesting thing, and that someone told me to try, and I had a friend of mine
give
that's
out
also a
recipes,
customer.
Kevin. Yeah.
Absolutely, and they said to try this. So they're always looking at things, on the weekends. Oh, we're going to go here, we're going to go there, and do things, but they don't always want to like go out for breakfast or whatever. But they don't want to like maybe spend a lot of time. So they've started as a family doing like breakfast, brunch, buffet type things on Saturday mornings. And I thought this was interesting because it makes it easy to do. They get the pre-made pancakes, and those are pretty good to put, to warm up and however you need to do that. Make bacon or sausage, whatever your family. But they've started getting the breakfast pizzas from Walmart. That is a biscuit crust with gravy and sausage and cheese on there. But they make those and then cut them into smaller pieces, not like pizza slice pizzas, and then have gravy that you can dip that in or whatever. But it's easy for that. Everybody can just grab and go, and it gives it something else to add to that. Not hard work. So I tried one of those, and there's a young man that was very appreciative of that. So so they are good. They are good, and so that's something you don't have to do a lot of work, and you can add it to that. So I thought that was interesting.
Right. So. Well, and I did, Kevin, we go to food. I know, well, it is about you and education. We're educating everyone on food. I did try and I did tell a little bit to Denise yesterday, but I tried the pickled corn dog. And you take the pickle, and you can use an apple core, and you get the inners of the pickles. And then I had my pickle and my hot dog ratio perfect. It was just perfect the way it was. I did get the cornbread mix, and I rolled it in that. What I did, though, I didn't have the grease. So you're supposed to deep fry it. So I baked it. And I want to say then, it was coming off. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of had to it was like a patchwork quilt.
The Frankenstein thing that we talked about.
Right? But I did the spicy mustard and dipped it in that. And I just want to say,
see, there you go.
Yeah, there were several that were eaten.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to try it with the fam. And I told them, of course, everybody, in the group message, ew.
Could you try that with an air fryer?
That's what they told me. They said fry it up, and next time. So what that's what I need to do is dip it, and you put the corn, your cornbread mix like in a glass, and then you dip the hot dog down in it. Don't use a bowl because then it can go all the way down in it. Okay. Little note to self, and then put it in the deep fryer. That's what I needed to do, and it would have stuck better because it was coming back, But anyway, it was delicious. It was good. And I found out Disney World sells that. I never have seen that at Disney World, but never. Oh, it is awesome. Listen to you. You're like, get off of it. I got to quit talking about it.
No, I'm going to try that.
You got to go. Try it definitely.
Yeah. And I am going to repeat one thing too is that breakfast pizza. I had it for dinner. We had it for dinner. So you know how you want biscuits and gravy or something for dinner or breakfast for dinner? That is awesome.
Well, and I don't have time, and I'm sure you guys too, because we're trying to get our mornings are just trying to get everybody going and trying to be, coffee's
trying to be civil.
Yeah, yes. And everybody make sure that there's a coffee cup in my hand. Let me tell you, because it would not be civil.
I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about someone I know. It's like,
just trying to,
something.
Yeah, exactly. So it's hard, and I'm not, and yay to those that get up and have that, those that, but I've not been that person. But we have it of a nighttime, which I love. Yeah, having breakfast at night. I love that. And of course, pancakes, just, or if you're at McDonald's, you got to say hot cakes. They always correct me, Becky, hot cakes. Hot cakes, pancakes. But yeah, I'm, anyway, so it's good. We're making you hungry, Kevin.
Yes. Yeah, starting to.
Yeah, we always get that way too. But it's fun to talk about and to share some recipes for sure. But get over there. It's a fun time. Get creative too, and all that. And also, of course, the back to school shopping for those that are still, doing a little bit of that. You still have from the tennis shoes. I really appreciate the shoe department too for all the great, boots are coming out.
And we've got the, fall stuff coming in, and there's some great deals over there, and comfortable, and some really, really good looking shoes. I got I got a pair of shoes to wear just to work, to be comfortable with blue jeans or nice pants, whatever, khakis, whatever. And I was just like, and I tried them on. I'm just like, wow, this is really awesome, and the price was great. So yeah, it's like, wow. So it's almost time for sweatshirt and short weather.
Which sweatshirts are coming in?
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's exciting too.
We got a lot of really cool thinner sweatshirts, but warmer, if that makes sense. I am a sweatshirt guy. I will have to say I am.
Yeah, and the Salem Lion stuff, boy, that stuff goes like, I mean, that
goes
fast.
It does, and I'm
crazy how fast that stuff goes.
I'm so glad that's doing well, and there's some nice looking quality stuff. So I've had myself a couple great things of that.
Yeah, from the shirts to the shorts. I love the shorts, and then of course, now the sweats. And
one thing that we do have coming in right before the holidays, something to be looking out for, is a Monopoly game version of Washington County. It's got different Washington counties, so I'll make sure you get one.
Oh, I definitely want one of those.
So it'll be a collector's item, so that's really cool. But it's got different things, for different, for park plays, different things that are based on things in our community in the entire county. But there's some things on for that represent Salem that people probably very happy with. So it's pretty
I love that. That's awesome.
And all the schools will be represented on there. All 3 county schools.
That's so
pretty awesome.
Cool. Yeah, that is cool. Oh yeah.
Anyway.
So I mean, if you at the middle school, if you fall into the pool, you have to go back 3 spaces, or jump 2 spaces if you go into the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
So that's pretty cool.
That's gonna be fun.
That's coming up.
Yeah. Now I just made that up. That's not necessarily gonna be on the board.
No, not necessarily, but yeah, it's really cool. So, and I was Scott Durham, Salem alum, and he's got family there, and me and Mike, we got to be involved in choosing landmarks and things.
I love that.
So that's
cool.
Pretty,
that's very cool.
So
yeah, his sister's Angela Phipps, and she does a wonderful job. She's a rock star too. Yeah.
And so it was cool. A couple local kids got to be involved in that. Pretty cool.
I love that. Very good. Well, I'm excited about that. Excited, and we'll find out more about that. Things coming to our future.
So I have some family members that may get that for Christmas, so be surprised.
Yeah, that's like,
looks like a Monopoly game box wrapped up.
Remember at the fair, the Salem Crossing gave these beautiful yardsticks, and it's a yardstick, and they were the nice yardsticks. Every family member, that was Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Why does it say Salem Crossing? Because
can't go wrong.
That's exactly right. So they were happy to get it. You know what I mean? We can't keep giving you yardsticks, Becky.
Brad, how many do you need? Well, I got 2 more gifts. I mean, 2 more people that would love these.
We're bad. That's bad.
Well, that's part of it.
Absolutely. Yeah, and their stockings, they get all the ink pens, advertised for ink pens.
Yes.
When you care enough to give them.
Yeah,
that's right.
So.
I can't. Yeah, my family members like, we got plenty of Walmart swag.
I bet they do. Well, the thing is too, and you actually are picking these gifts out. You know, what I mean, you're picking up these pins, you're picking out these, yardsticks. You're picking these up for them. So that right there shows that's a lot of love. Yeah.
Yep.
We try to use that a lot. Low expectations. Okay. No, we're not going to go. I had to kick him out of the studio last week. He had to go. He had to go across the street and go to work because he was too silly. Yeah. Anyway.
It was all her. That's the story of ever since we've been.
No, it's always Brad.
She blames me.
Always. Kevin, thanks for coming in and hanging out. Education Wednesday. Keep up the great work at Salem Middle School. And if anybody wants more information about all the great things going on at the middle school, they can check the website. And of course, Facebook or any information or call or write. Just
yeah.
And I want to just and I'm not trying to embarrass you because I know you do things, and I've always been a Kevin Albertson fan. But I love your communications. I love the way you communicate with people, and I love the way you try to, no drama. Try to keep everybody. The communication is so important in what you do, and you do a great job. And I feel like if anybody has any kind of a issue, first go to the teacher. We always say go to the teacher first, see if that can be worked out, because it could be just miscommunication, which we know happens all the time. And then if there was something that they need to talk with you, I love your availability and I love your act upon, and I love just the way you are humble and the fact of ready to talk and work things out. So I want to give you that praise.
All right, thank you.
So I know you didn't plan on that, but I want to say that because I've seen you in action a lot of, and I think you do a great job. So keep it up at the middle school.
I appreciate that, Becky.
Sure. Brad, keep up going, and I keep rolling back those prices.
Absolutely.
Get over there and roll back a few
That's
more,
right.
okay?
Yeah, absolutely. That's all me.
It's all you. That's right. When I'm digging in that clearance aisle, I know Brad.
Mike's out of town, so I'm going to take credit for
There
it
you
right
go.
now.
Start
Right
marking
now,
it
it's
down.
all me. So, yeah, when he gets
Mike's
back.
listening. He'll be like, what? Brian, come to my office now.
I know. I'll be like, no, you can come to mine. I don't feel like getting yelled at in yours.
That's right.
I like getting yelled at in mine better.
That's funny. All right, let's take our sponsors.
All right, we've got Walmart, Meadowview, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Kentucky and Core Recycling, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, and Celebrity Home Loans.
Yay, and thank you to our sponsor. Have
Thank
a wonderful Wednesday.